Hey, welcome to the bonus video. I'm going to show you my way of making the effects work for this projectile system. Let's get started. We're going to start with the spawn effect. Usually, the spawn effect is flashy for a gun, so I'm going to make an effect real quick. But there are much better ones in the Dreamiverse, so I recommend you get those if you're not really familiar with the paint tools. Alright, here's my effect. Not impressive, I know. We want this effect to spawn at the front of the weapon. To do this, go to the puppet, scope into your weapon, and place another tag. Name this tag whatever you'd like. I'm going with VFX Spawn. Now exit the group and go back to the effect. Place a microchip on the effect, open it, and get out a teleporter. We want to teleport to the tag we just made. Scroll through the box until you find the tag name. Now close the microchip and go to the puppet's camera microchip. Place an emitter and open it. Make the emit speed 0 as well as the time between emits. Make it emit once. For the max emitted at once, I suggest making it the same as the max emitted for your projectiles. For me, that would be 20. Now go to the cursor at the very top and use it to select the effect. Close the emit menu and connect the button that shoots the projectile to the power port of that emitter. Let's test this. Now, if you're like me, you have to adjust this. I'm going to adjust this by way of the teleporter until it's in the right position. Let's test this again, shall we? Nice. Let's not waste any more time. We're going to make the destroy effect. For time purposes, I'm going to use the same effect. Reset your scene and group the new effect with the projectile group. Now group the effect with the projectile. We want to make the effect invisible initially and make it visible whenever the projectile zone detects something. Open the projectile's microchip, then open the destroy chip. Place down a timer, counter, mover, and a keyframe. Deletes the wire in the destroyer's power port. Then connect the OR gate to the start timer input. Connects the timer finish pulse to the power port of the destroyer. Now open the timer's menu and set the time. This will determine how long it takes for the projectile to destroy. I'd typically use a timeline, but that's for if I wanted to include other types of logic. Try to set the time to where you think the effect will have time to play before it destroys. You don't want the time to go off in the middle of the effect animation. but you also don't want it to stay too long either. I'm setting it to 0.7 seconds. Now connect the OR gate to the counter's increase count port, and connect the counter full output into the keyframe's power port. Also, connect the counter full port into the mover's power port. Open the mover and set the forward speed and movement strength to 0. Then, set the overall dampening to 100. Remember, initially, we want the effects to be invisible, so I'm going to open the effects menu and turn the power button off. This way, the effect won't play until I activate it with the keyframe. Go into edit mode with the keyframe and turn the effects power button on. Also, use the keyframe to turn off the follow microchip. That way, the projectile won't move while the effect plays. Trust me, you need to do this. Remember the keyframe we used to make the projectile invisible during the spawn animation? We're going to use that same keyframe when the effect animation is playing. Place that keyframe in this microchip and connect the counter full to the power ports. Now let's make sure that the effect is aligned properly with the projectile before we test anything. I still recommend using the grid to align anything. Now let's test this. It works! If it seems like it's not showing all the way, you can easily move the effect outwards until you're satisfied. Just keep in mind that you might have to adjust the white emit sphere if the shooting is not accurate. Let's do one last thing before I end the series. Let's set up the health modifiers to damage enemies. I'm going to make a simple target to shoot at that will lose health. Follow everything I do in the video to see how I set it up. Okay, we're going to the projectile microchip again to get out a new chip. I'm going to name this health. Now in that microchip, place a health modifier and open it. The top slider shows how much health you want to add or take away. Since this is a gun, we want to take away health, so the number will have to be in the negative. Choose whatever you like, but I'm going with -10. Next, you can choose per hit or continuous. Per hit means you will only affect the target once, while continuous means you will continuously affect the target until the target reaches 0 health. I'm choosing per hit. Next is the modifier type. Choosing impact means that the target will be affected when it and the projectile touch, while zone means the target will only be affected if it is detected in the zone. Most of the time, zone works better, so I'm going with zone. If you didn't choose zone, you won't have to worry about this next part. Same as the destroy zone logic, make sure the zone you choose mostly matches the projectile shape. I'm still doing this cylinder. You can even bring up the zone menu from the destroy chip if you want to get them to about the same size. Once you do that, go to the label section, select both instead of collidable, and turn off all icons except for the label foe. If the object you want to damage has a different label, choose that label instead. Let's do one last test, shall we? Hey, that does it, folks. You have successfully done every single tutorial in this series. I know it was a lot and could have been overwhelming, but I hope you didn't give up and got a great outcome. I probably won't do another tutorial for a while, but believe me, I won't stop. I hope you guys out there that needed this to continue your projects can dust off your idea and start it with a fresh and new mindset. As always, comment if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll do my best to respond. Well, y'all take it easy, and I hope to see you in my next video.